It's not. All right. Hey, house guests. It's your girl, Raqfamousstar. Okay, so I was like on edge because yesterday I couldn't watch it live because I had class, and then so I get home and it's like 9. It was like 10 o'clock, 10:30 by the time I like actually lay down to watch it and stuff. I just couldn't watch it last night. So I was like, all right. So I woke up this morning and I watched like 30 minutes of it in the morning while I was getting ready and eating breakfast and all that stuff. Um and so all right, so this is the recap vlog for episode 39. So sorry it's just so late. It's like a few hours before um the episode 40 premieres and not premieres, shows. And I'm just so happy. I don't know. Okay, let me just tell you what it's about. All right, so Victor was super, super confrontational when he was talking to Nakori. Um, and Paul, he's trying to salvage like whatever's left, hoping that maybe they can kind of do what Natalie was trying to do, when she realized that she put the wrong people up. But he was trying to like hope like, he could talk to them and say like and see if they would be considering to put up James if they won. Um so yeah, it didn't work. And then Paul sees that Victor is being super confrontational, so he's like, I'm just gonna chill. Um And so, I mean, I like totally agree with his like gameplay. Here, let me make this big. Because I mean, you see that it could be you, but it could be the other person going home. So why make a big fuss about yourself, when it is a very good possibility that they do want him out, and don't give them a reason to vote you out. So that's what Paul's strategy was, and it was working. Um, the veto is called Comics. Well, I don't know if it was called Comics Live, but it was that one where all the comics are behind the wall or behind a wall, and there's like a little cutout up above, and they have to zip line across and look at the cutouts. They have to fly down the zip line to match the comic book wall and set it up on their little wall below. I think it's below. They have to fall on the little like mat. They do it. They've been doing it the past like few seasons, so they probably just have all the stuff and just print out the cards. Um, but so it's like a super easy one to like not put together, but you know. Um, so James timed out because he's like, I have a memory of a fish. James, and James knew he was safe no matter what, so I don't think he was really putting in that much effort. But Nicole ended up winning. She had a pretty good time. Her time was only like five. Well, it was 13 minutes, and then Paul was like a close, not a close, but the closest second. He had like 18 minutes, and then everyone else was like kind of far. All right, so they had some time to fill, and Derek came on and he spoke about the season. And he said, just talking about Nicole's gameplay because he played with Nicole. And he was like, if Victor wasn't on the block, then he would be his winner pick. But he was like, Victor's most likely going home. But then he was like, Nicole, his pick was with Nicole. I'm still going for Paul. Like, Paul is I'm pretty sure if he gets to the final two, if it's against James or Corey, he's got it. Um, I think so. And if he doesn't have that, I'm gonna try my hardest to vote for him for America's favorite player. He's my favorite player, and like if you watch my videos, I did not like Paul like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. I just recently really started liking him. Not even like that, just like I think he's just cool. Like he just makes me want to like win, or like makes me want him to win. So Nicole does not use the veto. They were talking about potentially getting rid of Paul because he could win the whole thing, and they're talking about like how he can really talk and he can, he has a way with words, and so they were afraid of that. Then again, if they don't get Victor out now, it's like both of them was like a double-edged sword, like if you don't get Paul out now, Paul's gonna win the whole thing. If you don't get Victor out now, Victor's gonna win the whole thing. So because Victor's been let back in the house 3 times, or he's been, he's walked into that door 3 times. Everyone else only walked in once. But yeah, so the votes happened. James and Nicole both vote to evict Victor, so Victor was evicted for the third time. Has anybody else ever been evicted? I think he's probably the first house guest to be evicted 3 times in a season. Um, yeah, so Victor is officially evicted. The HOH competition, I was so nervous about this. It was called What the Bleep, right? I mean, these chips, right? Because I didn't want to cook dinner yet. And so I'm eating these chips. I was getting so nervous. So they had to guess the bleeped word or phrase that a past house guest said during their eviction speech. And it was kind of funny because it sounded like the F word every time, or like it sounded like a cuss word every time. And the whole time, James was okay, but he was not in it. It was really between Paul and Nicole. Like they were all getting them right, except James, both getting them right, and then Paul missed one, and then they were still getting them right, and then Nicole missed one. So then they got to the last question, and they both had 6 out of 7. Oh, my time's still ticking. Okay. And then, so there was only out of 7. They had 6 at the end. And then, so they had to take out the chalkboards. When they took out the chalkboards, I had to stop eating my chips. I said, oh my God, like, here it comes. And the thing is, I could have already looked and had my pressure, like, not been up. But I was like, you know what? No, I just have so much going on at school today. So I was just like, no, just wait. So I was like, oh my gosh. And then it was like, in the number of seconds, how long did the movie theater slide competition go on? And I'm thinking, I wish they had calculators. I'm thinking, I don't know. Like, I was like, okay, well, I know it was longer than an hour, so it was higher than like 3,600. Um, and I would have probably went with 5,000. Like, I was thinking like 66, 3,662 or 72, 2 hours, 60. I think anything higher than 600, 6,000 would have been too high because it was long. It was like an hour, 20 minutes, I want to say. So I would have went with like 5,000 minutes. Like, I felt like that was a fine answer. I don't think I would have stressed too much about it. And Paul went with like 4,800, and then Nicole went with 6,001. So I was like praying to God that the number was anywhere between 4,800 and 6,000, because it was whoever was the closest without going over. And if they both went over, whoever was the closest then. So the time ended up being like 4,900 something. Paul was closer. So Paul. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm really, really hoping. Let me know if you guys think this too. I am just praying. So it comes on like a few hours, so I gotta get to work on my assignment. But anyways, I'm praying to God that Paul puts up Nicole and Corey. He needs to. They did it to him last week. Put him up. Whoever wins, tell James, you better win that veto, because if it's not them, it's gonna be. If it's not them, it's gonna be you that goes home. So it doesn't matter really who's up. It matters who wins the veto. So I'm praying that he puts Nicole and Corey up, and that James or Paul win the veto, keep them the same, and then James votes out Nicole. That's honestly what they need to do. But James will probably vote out Corey. But I think Nicole is the best bet. It doesn't really matter which one of them goes home for real to me. But um so there is going to be an episode tonight, obviously. Um there is a Friday final HOH, which I'm kind of glad that it is Friday. I thought it was going to be Tuesday, Wednesday next week, and I was just going to be so hurt that I was going to have to miss it again. But Friday is the final HOH, and then the season finale will be on next Wednesday, which will find out the winner. The final HOH competition, I guess, will start, and then, or maybe the whole finale will be next Wednesday. I don't know really how that's gonna go, but there's 2 episodes left. And then also the Survivor premiere is next week, so it's gonna be a busy week next week. But I'm really pulling for Paul. I really, really hope that he wins, and I really, really hope that Nicole goes home today. I think that'll set it up for Paul to win. Um, because I think Nicole will 100% take James. I don't know if James will 100% take her. I don't know. I think Paul needs to win the next like 2. But then if he doesn't, I can't even blame who. I don't know. I don't know. There's just so much. Let me know what you guys think. Sorry this video went up so late. But yeah, thanks for watching and you're welcome. Bye.